Okay, so right now I've been having some issues on the tractor that we got. It has two coolant tanks on it. It has a lower, just secondary coolant tank, and then it has an upper one, and it has been completely draining out of the lower one and filling up the upper one. So I mean, it's not really causing an issue too much. We initially thought it was gonna be a much more serious issue than that, but the oil isn't foamy, nothing's wrong with it, and well, it looks like it's good now. So this is the tank that was it was completely emptying out of here and going into here. Let me see if I can get up over here and going into this guy here, and I don't know why, so I did some research on it, and it looked like it was just a pressure issue with the caps. So I got a new cap for this guy, tried that, let it run, got the motor warmed up, and then let it cool down, because that's when it happens, is when it cools down, it escapes into that upper tank, and it was still doing it, so I had luckily bought in both caps. And so I replaced the upper cap, did the same thing again, heated the motor up, ran it down the road a mile and a half, and then ran it back, parked in here, let it cool off again, and it seems to be fixed. So that's one of the issues. That was the main issue. But the other issue I noticed was the filters, because when you get something, for me, I like to just have a baseline and get everything done. Oil looked brand new, so I didn't do that, but I checked the filters. The filters were also actually brand new, but it was very weird because, so like, here's a cabin air filter. It doesn't necessarily look brand new, but it's fairly new. Oh, and I'd already cleaned it too well. But inside these filter housings, if you can kind of see in there, I mean, it was just, imagine a quarter of an inch of just that mud, just the dust stuck to everything. And it was like that in the cabin air filter, which is this one, and right under here, which is the engine air filter. And it probably took me 2 hours getting it, even this cleaned up. And it looks like there might actually be some still in there they'll need to vacuum out again. So I have no idea what the heck, because it draws air from all the way up there. So I don't know, the previous owners of this tractor must have been in some seriously wet dust. Like I said, it came from Illinois, I believe Southern Illinois. Maybe not, actually. And then the way you put this on is just, if I can get to stay there. If you can even see it, it's just these little clips here. So that's a pretty easy job. But yeah, I mean, that was really it. The fuel cap, I had to clean off under the cap for the fuel, because it was also filthy under there. And yeah, everything was coated in that muddy dust for some reason, and I don't really know why. The air seeder is coming in either super late tonight, which I highly doubt, or in the morning tomorrow. So that's going to be exciting. Everything else otherwise on this tractor I've gone through and looks to be in good condition. When we first got it, the other thing is the tires, the duals were not on right. So normally you have them, both sides equal distance from the center line, but for some reason the gap from this tire to this tire was way off. Like, this tire was actually too far out, and then this inner this inner tire was too far in, actually, so it was almost rubbing here, because these have sway. It was almost rubbing in there. So we adjusted that as well. And then these front duals as well. So they have these holes right here to drain the oil out of these, because there's a planetary gear unit here on both sides, and that's how you drain out. Those were not on right, so we had to turn those, again, pretty easy. But just kind of all smaller things that weren't too big of a deal to fix. Yeah, I don't know, that's about it with this unit. I'll probably make a video or something reviewing it more in depth, because the tractors I have experience with was a 2008 Case IH Magnum 215 with center or single fronts, and again dual rears. But it's somewhat similar, but it's fairly different just because of the newer cab update. And then this tractor is just far heavier. The front axle on that one was super light, super weak, and this unit's just a lot heavier and bulkier. And then I also had experience with the Steiger 9380. Loved that thing. It had 710. It had really fat tires on it. Well, not really fat nowadays, but for then, really fat tires. It had actually had triples on originally, and my dad swapped it to fat duals. That's what I have experience with it. I loved that 9380. It was super smooth ride with those tires on it. Shifted fantastic. It pulled great. I loved that thing, but we sold that on the auction. I've been looking to maybe pick another one up, but that one was in fantastic condition because my entire family, we really try to take care of our stuff, and we service them generally at higher intervals than most manuals tell you to. Like if it says 500 hours, we'll do 400 hours and just that kind of stuff. So it was in perfect condition for 3,000 hours. And I mean, you just can't really find them in that good of condition anymore. And oh yeah, another thing is the rim is quite scratched on this side. Don't know what from, but not too big of a deal, I guess. Case IH is kind of known for having not the best paint, if I'm gonna be honest. The lighting on this tractor is so much nicer than anything we've had before. It's the nicest cab, and then it has the lighting package. I will say the monitor on it, the display on this one, you know what? I'll save the review for another video. But once I can actually get to use it some more, because obviously, I mean, we have this 18-foot disc. Doesn't really pull this that hard at all. So I'll do a more in-depth review once I kind of run it a little bit more and get to know it better. But otherwise, that's about it issue-wise. Like I said, none of the issues were that much. Not that big of a deal. You can tell we used to farm, because I mean, why else would you have I think it's 80 by 140 foot shed. But it's empty. It's definitely empty right now. But the air sear is coming in tomorrow, I believe. So that's going to be nice to have that. And I've never backed one of those up before. It's in 2 sections, so I can't imagine it'll be too hard. I mean, it'll be a lot harder than just backing up a semi trailer, but people learn how to do it, obviously. So it's just learning experience. So yeah, that'll be parked kind of right here, backed in through these doors, because those doors aren't as tall because of the way the roof angles down versus here. We actually I'm going to be bringing our loader into here and lifting us up and working on up there. Way up there, you can kind of see how it's a gap. Roller up there fell off, and you probably won't be able to, but there's a little bolt up there. that you can see. So we're gonna be fixing that. I have a trip next weekend, so not then, but that'll be getting fixed. But yeah, that's it. Have a good one, guys.